When we all come back together and return to the origin of Enagic, but also return to the origin of my vision for global prosperity movement that started back in 2013, you will see that we are much stronger together rather than separated in our own separate Facebook groups away from each other. That's just so the old way of doing it. And once you see this way, you're going to be blown away at what's possible, and we're all going to elevate together. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Diamond Life Mentor Podcast with your host, Balazs W Kardos. This is episode 81, and I'm absolutely super beyond excited for something that I've been working towards with my team behind the scenes for the past couple of years, and it's finally time to reveal it and to share it with you, and also to start the process of onboarding and migrating over from how we've done things for so long into this new era, this new diamond decade that we're a part of right now, and another massive upgrade in terms of how we manage the community, how we grow the community, how we support you, how we provide additional value and unique benefits and features that has never been done before at this level. And my vision is so grand and it's so clear that you're going to be absolutely blown away by what we put together for you. And it's still just the very, very, very tip of the iceberg of what's to come. But we didn't want to delay any longer waiting to build it before anybody was truly inside. So what is this? What are we talking about? Let's dive right into it. So we've been looking to create a community that has way more opportunities for us to connect as the global prosperity movement has grown and branched into over 100 countries in the past 11 years. Now, you may not be in a similar position to myself where a lot of different types of problems and challenges rise when it comes to leadership at that level. And one of the things that has been really challenging for me is how I'm able to support my top leaders, the 6As, and also provide training that is standardized across all of the different sub-affiliate communities. And so I mentioned this a little bit on the last podcast episode, but I was brainstorming different ways to potentially be able to solve problems, to streamline things, to unify the leadership, unify the communities, have everybody in one central place, but also be able to maintain their unique brand identity, their own culture, their own team, their own country that they might be operating within, and finding a way to be able to do both. And it was tricky, right? Because we've gotten so used to everybody branching away when they reach a certain leadership level and basically duplicating so much of the resources, support, chats, groups, trainings, and so forth. But in a way, it's kind of unnecessary. And I think there are certain things that are important to individualize, to create a personal brand around, to have your own brand, your own community, your own culture. I think those things are important. But when we're all affiliated with the same high-ticket company, when we all have very similar marketing strategies and ways of building our business, there's so much overlap that I believe there's a ton of wasted resources, time, money, staff, overhead costs, software costs, and so on and so on. And so what I came up with was a way for us to centralize the training while keeping the communities decentralized and private. And what this really looks like is we have white labeled a top-end affiliate community software that allows us to basically have multiple collections of information, collections of spaces, while also giving people the private spaces that they require to migrate over from something like a Facebook group or potentially another software like maybe School or Circle. There's a bunch of them out there. Or Telegram chats or WhatsApp chats or these types of things, and actually house it all under one mobile app branded the Global Prosperity Movement home base. And for short, we're calling it the GPM Base. And this thing is top notch, okay? It has every single incredible feature that we would ever want, and they're continuing to develop and add even more cool stuff that's coming very soon. So that's what today's call was really about, is preparing you for this launch. We're going to have the launch split up into a few different phases, and we're also going to be doing things one way for a short period of time, which is really designed to be a migration period from how we've been doing things for so long. Now, the main way that we have been connecting the communities and providing value and also giving people an opportunity to get welcomed into the wider GPM community and be recognized for their efforts, their rank advancements and achievements and so on, has been through a free Facebook group, a private group called GPM Race to 682. And we're going to keep that group going for now, but we're going to transition all of our new value and our new focus into GPM Base rather than only posting things in the Facebook group. And so our goal is to migrate people over in stages, and that process is going to begin right after this episode gets released on September 4th. So at the end of this episode, I'll be giving you the instructions on exactly what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, what you need to do to put yourself in the queue, because we're going to be letting people in batches, not all at once. And once that migration period is finished, then we will adjust a few things around our onboarding processes, because at that point, everybody who's going to be entering into GPM, who is a new person, who just got affiliated, their experience is going to be the priority since everyone else is already in there. So let's talk a little bit about this. I find that, as you probably have noticed in the last few years, 3 or 4 years, there has been a really important transition with how people are building online. And there's a few sides to this. I'll talk about them one by one. So the first side of it is that, Facebook has become such a major part of our day-to-day lives, with keeping up with friends and family, with posting about our businesses, and primarily staying up to date on important information through Facebook groups. And I think that the group feature, the group function, is really awesome with Facebook. And that's the main reason why I really go on Facebook. I don't post too much on it. I don't really spend a lot of time on the news feed. I get annoyed by the constant ads. Is like, I think I'm on somebody's feed, for example, to see what they're up to, and then all of a sudden I see an ad. Like, it's not even in the main news feed. It's on someone's profile. So the ads have gotten a little bit too crazy. And part of the reason why you get so many ads is because it's a free platform. So anytime that something is free, in terms of a social media platform or whatever, that means that you and your content and what you're putting on there is the actual commodity. So they're selling your activity to the advertisers so they can target you with their products and services. Now, this is an amazing opportunity, and we as online affiliate marketers, we leverage this ourselves, right? So it's actually amazing, and we should be grateful for it, and we love it. The issue becomes when we're running paid ads or we're done posting organic marketing content for our business, then we want to actually be in more of a safe, less distraction place to run the community from. And I think that this has started to trend recently, where people are migrating their paid coaching, their paid communities, and also their network marketing communities and organizations and things like this, off of only being supported by Facebook groups. And a really big reason why is because when the pandemic happened a few years back, there was a crazy amount of censorship. People's accounts were being banned for speaking their truth and having free speech. And so a lot of the stuff that people, they don't feel as safe anymore with potentially losing their group or losing access to their Facebook account or their page or getting shut down or hackers or trolls or fake. There's a lot of stuff going on there. So you have probably noticed that the experience of being on Facebook has gone down dramatically because there's just a lot of stuff bombarding you. All right. So that was one of the big things that I was looking into. Secondly, is the groups themselves, they're not set up to be dynamic, and they're not really set up to be full-on course programs with training, with resources, with a lot of features the way our new GPM base is going to be set up. Secondly, when it comes to communication, push notifications and being able to stay in the loop right directly to your phone and bypass all the noise and all the other stuff is a major incredible feature as well that we're going to have. But there's so much more that I want to share around your newest person coming into this, because as you know, a first impression is so important. And I think that with so many competitors out there, so many different online business opportunities, work from home opportunities, sales businesses, and so on, the marketplace is becoming increasingly competitive. And so how you stand out from the noise and from the competition and from other things out there is by elevating your user experience with your community and your members, which is why I invested tens of thousands of dollars per year to basically pay for a custom white labeled software for GPM Base that we don't have to worry about losing customer data or getting blocked out of our accounts or getting hacked or distractions or ads or stuff that we don't want, basically. So that's a huge opportunity. Now, as well, there is some AI functionality built into this also, which is really cool. So there is dynamic ways for engagement and to stay up to date with what's going on in the business. And you won't even understand how cool that is until you start experiencing it inside the community itself. We also have ways to organize and standardize all of the knowledge and all of the information that is required for someone to get full education around Enagic as a company, the products, the business plan, the way to build it offline, online, organic, with paid, all these different elements that are so crucial and important. We have a way to structure that and organize that in a centralized place. We also have our global members map that's coming, which allows all of us to be instantaneously connected through a map that we've had for a little while, but it just wasn't set up to be optimized in the best way possible and actually have everybody adding their information to the map and it growing by the day, right? So we're going to have that built into it. We also have a developmental roadmap that's coming, so we can show you what features are coming, what the community is asking for, if there's certain things that they want, like, for example, training topics or interviews or certain features, etc. So we'll actually have a roadmap so you can see this is coming out in September, this is coming out in the fourth quarter of the year, this is coming out next year. So that gets to be really exciting. But another really important piece is the way for us to provide truthful information around the success of the community. So as you know, compliance is very important and we all want to do our very best to adhere to compliance. At the same time, you want to see that people are succeeding and they are winning and that it is possible for them to learn what they need to learn and develop the skills they need to develop, and so that there is more and more examples of people succeeding with something that they wanted to pursue as a goal, as a dream, and then they won, meaning they achieved that desired outcome. And so we are going to have a verified process to prove how much income you've made, both monthly and total lifetime income. And once you prove this, you will get a badge on your profile inside GPM Base that is a verified income badge that actually shows how much money you've earned, what your biggest high month was, and also what your total income earnings have been in the business. This will actually help us see overall the number of people inside the community and how many people have at least gotten, for example, like an ROI on their initial investment, and also people that are six-figure earners, seven-figure earners, eight-figure earners. It's going to be verified on everybody's profile, which is super cool. We're going to have your rank inside of your business also verified. So now you'll be able to see everybody who's a 3A, 4A, 5A, 6A, and so on inside the compensation plan, and have that all accessible to everybody to click on it and see the members. There's also going to be an opportunity for you to connect with people based on 2 different primary categories initially. The first one is actually location. So you're going to enter in the city that you're from, and when you log in, you'll be able to see members near you, and that will allow you to mastermind, to connect, to do meetups, live events, local events very, very easily, because you'll have access to that information of who's who and where are they at. Secondly, we're also going to have ways for you to communicate with a profession that is the profession that you currently have alongside your business if you're still part-time in your business, or the profession that you did prior to getting started in this business if you're already full-time with your online business. So that's also really powerful, because let's say you're a construction worker and you're like, how do I build this with my construction schedule or with the skill set that I have, utilizing my hands or whatever. It's like you'll actually be able to click on your profession and see everybody else who also comes from a construction background, and then mastermind and problem solve and talk about what's working, what's not working for your particular audience that you're advertising to. Or it might be stay-at-home moms, or it might be health and wellness professionals or fitness trainers. It might be service industry like waitress or bartender or those kinds of things. It might be personal trainer. It could literally be anything. It could be sales, it could be marketing, it could be low-ticket MLM, and you'll be able to connect directly with those individuals. We're actually going to have more ways of having custom fields on your profile coming very soon in one of the next GPM Base updates. And so we'll actually be able to put in rank. We'll be able to put in a few additional questions on there to truly customize and connect the community even more. Or for example, what language you speak, right? If you speak Spanish or whatever, you'll be able to put that on your profile and then connect with other people who speak the same language as you. So that's another example. So we're going to have a space for everybody to share, wins in the business, but not just financial wins. One of the things that's really important about one of the areas that I've noticed has been a challenge for so many people is they'll invest into their business, and then after a couple months or whatever, they'll start having either their leads or their family or their friends start to kind of like harass them around how much money are you making? Have you made money? Have you done this? Have you made sales? Whatever. And it's all financially focused pressure from whether it's leads or other people to make them feel like they're not succeeding, or that they're too slow, or that they're not able to win, or that they have failed, or whatever. All this stuff that isn't actually true. And so we're going to have a dedicated space to share wins in multiple categories. And once we can reshape people's perception around what is a win and how there are so many different types of wins outside of financial wins, then you will be able to find and recognize that in fact you are winning, you are growing, you are improving as soon as you get started, essentially. As long as you're showing up, as long as you're doing the work, as long as you're continuing to strive to improve yourself, then you'll be able to identify and recognize wins and have a space to share those wins personally, but also your team will have those wins. So we'll have an opportunity for what's called a highlighted hashtag. And a highlighted hashtag is really, really powerful because you'll be able to find the information you're searching for that all has the same hashtag. So for example, like family wins, personal growth wins, spiritual wins, mindset wins, physical wins like fitness related, losing weight, gaining muscle, going for a run, new personal best, those kinds of things, travel wins, lifestyle wins, financial wins, dream wins, and giving back wins. And all of those will be defined so you'll know which one to use in which situation. We'll have obviously all of our training calls inside of the GPM Base, the calls with myself, but we'll also have calls on sales. We'll have calls on personal branding. We'll have calls on role playing. We'll have calls on ads. We'll have tons of additional support that is very specific to what someone might need. And it's all going to be streamed live inside of GPM Base. We won't need to use Zoom. We won't need to do it in a Facebook group. It's all going to be on one roof. You can watch it on your phone. You can watch it on your laptop. It's a complete game changer. We'll have all the trainings and replays organized really nicely. We'll have an entire hub around Enagic, the overview, a how-to section, an FAQ section, product knowledge, testimonials, support and global financing solutions. We're also launching something really exciting called GPM Nations. Now, GPM Nations is incredible because we're actually taking every single country that GPM has expanded to, and we're going to have a custom area and space that has all of the country-specific information around policies and procedures, the paperwork, how you fill it out, what the commissions are, what the cost is, everything you need basically to expand your business into that country or to support your business in that country. We will be rolling out courses. We will be rolling out leadership levels so we can directly communicate with people at a certain level in the business, all with the flick of a button. So if we need to send an important message to, let's say, 4As, boom, we already know that you're a 4A because we're going to have a proper intake process to get clarity on everybody where they're at and assign people the correct tags, the correct badges, and organize your profile before you basically come into GPM Base, and day one, everything's going to already be set up correctly. So these are just a few of the things that are coming that I am very, very excited about. I literally have multiple ideas every single day, and we're adding them and implementing them and executing them on them. So what you're going to see this week when you get access is incredible. It's a game changer, but it's still just the tip of the iceberg of what's coming in the next 3-4 months, and also what's coming next year in 2025. So get very, very excited. Now, one last thing I'll mention is if you currently have your own funnel or your own Facebook group, or you're supporting your organization somehow, then we actually are going to have a GPM partner program where you'll be able to migrate your existing communities from Facebook or another platform or something like this. You'll be able to migrate it into GPM Base, still have your private custom area that only your team will get access to. The rest of the community won't see anything that's in there. But you're also going to get, basically, instead of telling somebody to log in through Facebook groups, you'd be telling them to log in through GPM Base. Now, the advantages of this is endless because you're now going to have a community of 100 countries, the number one overall organization and producer in the company with GPM. So you can leverage that. You can use that to recruit high-level individuals that have big communities and show them the power of us being unified and collaborating and running our businesses independently, while at the same time being under one collective roof in a custom branded GPM app. So there's so many advantages to this. You can offer this in a free way to your community, or you can even charge a monthly fee and do that independently of what any other leader or any other community is doing. So tons and tons of flexibility. And this is going to be the hub, right? So this is the home base. We're calling it GPM Base because if you're ever stuck, if you ever need support, if you're ever unsure of what to do in your business, whether that's with your personal growth, with your sales, your mindset, your skill set, Enagic related stuff, specifically how to talk with leads, how to close sales, any of the stuff that you might run into, this will be home base. And so your mindset is going to rewire itself to, like, when I need something, go home base. Go home, you know what I mean, to get support. We're going to have an opportunity for you to give your feedback and give suggestions and say, like, you love this and that you could, maybe we could add this or improve this. Whereas in the past with something like Facebook group, we can't change anything of how it's set up because we don't have a direct input with something like Facebook. However, with this, we have so much more customizations and flexibility to move things around, to reorganize, to reprioritize, to add stuff, to remove stuff. It's going to be really, really amazing. Seriously, guys, the list is so long that I can't even get into all of it onto this podcast episode. So what I'm going to do instead is, in a couple of weeks, once we have migrated over a large number of people on a first come, first serve basis, then I'm going to host a big call that's going to really paint out the vision, talk more about the features that are upcoming in the roadmap, answer any questions if people are confused or stuck on stuff. I'll have my team on that call as well, and they're responsible for certain elements inside GPM Base, the tech stuff like my brother Dave, the community management stuff. like Cass and many others. So we'll basically have everybody on this call to answer questions related to their level of expertise inside the GPM base. And the thing is, guys, is that I have a lot of resources. I have a lot of experience. I have a massive vision, and I'm able to bring that vision to life through GPM Base, all right? And so if you want to leverage that, right? If you want to tap into that, if you want to let your community take full advantage of everything we're building, and if you're a leader, still add your own custom processes and stuff in addition to that, so we end up working as a team. It's kind of like a 1-2 punch. And that's basically what GPM Race to 682 Facebook group has been all these years as well, is that people operate their own little teams, their own independent thing, which is fine. It's awesome. And then when someone like ranks up, they'll still celebrate them in the bigger community because that person feels even more appreciated when it's 24,000 people, seeing it and giving them a congratulations rather than just their team. So we'll actually be able to do sales competitions, the most points, the most growth. We'll be able to do 90-day sprints. We'll be able to do a lot of stuff where we can actually have these different communities go head-to-head in the competition. So rather than it just being individual competitions, we can actually do sub-affiliate teams competing against each other to see who's the best at closing sales or who's the best at different things. You know what I mean? So we'll be able to do that all under GPM Base if those leaders choose to migrate their ecosystem and communities under our roof. We have 2 more massive pieces to the GPM ecosystem coming, but those aren't quite ready yet. We'll be rolling them out most likely before the end of 2024. And then once all 3 of them are fully live and dialed in and all the bugs are worked out and all the feedback has been processed, etc., I promise you've never seen anything like this before. The way that these 3 special trifecta of software and applications integrate and interact with each other is going to completely change the game of how we build our businesses. And most importantly, it's not just about the sales side of it, like making more sales or getting more business partners or getting more clients, because everybody is actually quite good at that right now. It's more so about training, fulfillment, and helping people win, helping people duplicate, helping people grow, which is the area that right now it's fragmented too much. There's too many communities. There's too many Facebook groups. Everything is split off. Some people, swear by paid ads. Some people swear that it's organic only. Some people like to do offline. Some people like to do online. And all of those things are amazing. And we actually encourage everybody to do all of them to a certain degree and at least have access to the same knowledge across the board for all those different ways of doing things. But currently, it's not like that because, one community is an expert on one topic, but it's gate kept over there in a separate group or something, and another community is over here. So what I'm saying is, what if we collaborated, brought all these resources under one roof, gave everybody the keys to the kingdom of how they can build their business however which way they wish, and everything will just blow up huge. So yeah, I can't even stress how important it is for you to keep your eyes on the link that is going to be in this email. And let me share the process with you, and then I'll give you the rest of the details inside of GPM Race to 682 with a few posts I'm going to make, and also the call that we're going to do inside the base coming very soon. So how this is going to work is we're going to send you a type form, intake form, okay? This is basically like not an application, like it's kind of like a intake form that's going to have a whole bunch of questions on it. So we get a clear indication of who you are, what your name, email, phone number, your rank inside the business, how long you've been in the business, why you got started with the business. Also, we're going to ask you some questions around your rank, your ID number, because at this time we're restricting access to the GPM base to only GPM. So we're going to be verifying all the ID numbers. Make sure you're coming up in the back office as somebody inside of GPM. If not, we'll have to just put you on the wait list, which we're going to talk about at another time, probably at some point next year. You're going to be asked to share a a testimonial around what the products have, done for you, whatever it is, be honest. It's not a claim. It's just your personal experience. So make it, honest. Don't exaggerate. Don't make stuff up, but also like take your time and share something that is true, but inspiring for other people of like the benefits that you've gotten from these products. We're going to ask you for a win that is more so to do with the business side. However, like I mentioned, if you are somebody who hasn't gotten sales yet or made money yet, there's possibly some other wins that are massive that you can share, right? You might have personal growth wins around your mindset or your attitude. You might have a spiritual win. You might have a physical win that you started to take your health more seriously. You started drinking more Kangen water, taking the Ukon, hitting the gym. Maybe you lost some weight. Maybe your skin looks better. Maybe you're feeling better or whatever. Maybe you've had an opportunity to travel because of this business. Maybe you've gone to global convention or some other community events. That's a win you can share. Meeting some of your best friends or business partners and finding your tribe and really feeling like you belong, that's a win. You could have a lifestyle win where maybe you're able to do certain things that you weren't able to do before. Maybe you're giving back to people with your commissions. Whatever it is, we want you to have an opportunity to share your biggest win that you're most excited about so far since joining this opportunity and getting started. Maybe you got a bunch of money back on your taxes because you're now a self-employed independent distributor that gets a different set of tax breaks and tax benefits than if you're a salary or getting paid by the hour. These are all opportunities for you to share those. And what we're going to do with all this information is actually put it right into the base. We're going to set up your profile based on the answers that you provide. So if you are somebody who's made a certain number of dollars in the business or something like this, we're going to ask that you verify that with either like a pay stub or a bank statement or something that proves that you've actually earned that money. And then what we're going to do is give you a custom badge on your profile for all these different things that we're asking you, which is really, really going to be powerful when you have 100, 500,000, 5,000, 10,000 members inside of GPM Base. And as you're connecting, building relationships, seeing who's who, you'll be able to click on their profile and see their lifetime earnings, their biggest month, their rank inside the business, and also we'll be able to do badges for completing courses. So we actually know that your level of education is there, that you're putting in the work, that you're showing up. We also have a full insights dashboard that transparently will show how many times you logged in, how frequently you logged in. We can't see, your private chats or anything like this, but we can see that you're actually actively coming back to improve, to show up for yourself, show up for your community. We can see whether or not you're liking or cheering on posts, leaving comments, asking questions, completing the courses. So we basically have a snapshot of knowing whether or not you're doing your part. And I think from an accountability standpoint, this is critical because so often people don't do their part. They don't come to the trainings. They don't participate. They don't add value. They don't do anything. They maybe just watch a little bit. And then they are confused as to why they're not succeeding, why they're not winning, why they're not growing, why they're not making money. And so now we're going to have a very transparent, honest look at why people are winning and why people aren't winning. We're going to have very clear rules and expectations around our, for example, we're going to have our vision, mission, and values laid out so everybody knows what we're all here to do together. We're also going to have rules of how we conduct ourselves. And one of the big ones that I've noticed in the Facebook group and in other places is this blind leading the blind type of scenario. So someone asks a question on how they can close a sale as an example, and someone who isn't actually getting results, closing sales, comments telling this person how they should close sales, but they don't actually know. They're just regurgitating something from a call that they heard or a book that they read or something like this. And so we're going to have very strict policies that if you do not have results, if you haven't been somebody who's done the very thing that is being asked, you are not in a position to actually give an answer. you're in a position to agree with the question and say, yes, I also have this question because I'm not making sales. And you have the permission to listen, to wait for someone else who has the results to be able to teach that. So in this community, we're going to be very, very strict on the fact that the people that are in a position to be the mentor, to be the coach, to be giving the advice, they're going to be doing that. Other people are going to be learning, and then once they get results, then they can participate in helping other people. So that's a big thing. Like sometimes I'll read like a chat thread and all these people are like, I think you should do this, I think you should do that, or try this or try that. And it's like none of those comments should actually be there at all. It's not helpful. It's confusing people. It's making them second guess themselves, and they're just like lost. So instead, it's better to just leave a comment like, great question. I'm looking forward to the answer as well. That's it. Not you trying to give the answer when you're not making $50,000, $100,000 a month actually doing the thing to get the results. So that's going to be massive. We're going to have so much exciting, cool stuff in here, and we just got to get the ball rolling. So you're going to get a link to the intake form. You're going to complete that. As soon as that intake form is done, then you're also going to get a link to request to join the GPM Base, okay? There's going to be a few more questions on the link to join the base as well. So you just have to fill all of that stuff out. As soon as you've completed the intake form and you've completed the request to join GPM Base, you're going to go into a queue. Now, what that means is that it's going to be time-stamped. And what's going to happen is the team is going to let people in. Those people are going to have to complete their welcome checklist, which is just a few simple things that they complete, like filling out their profile, We're going to add all the customizations to each profile, which is going to take a little bit of time, but we'll be quick. We'll do it as quick as we can. And once that's all done and set up, then we'll let in the next group. So everybody who gets in first has to be very quick to complete their steps, because if they're not, they're actually going to hold everybody else back from getting in. Now, this might seem like it's complex or complicated or, over the top or whatever to you right now, but this is part of creating a very, very tight-knit, productive, inspiring, incredible community, is making sure that as we bring people in, we're changing certain things that are not working very well, and we're upgrading how we operate, how we conduct ourselves, how we're showing up, and we're basically managing this migration period so that when there's 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 members, we've already set the precedent, we have new standards, we have new culture, and everything is just elevated to another level. Then when new people are coming in who know nothing about the past because they haven't been around for all those years, they're going to come in and just, operate the way that we want. So that's why we're doing it like this. So keep your eyes on the show notes in your email inside the Facebook group. We're going to be sending out that link on the 4th when this episode comes out. So you'll be able to basically complete the intake form and also request to join the network right away. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to give everybody an opportunity. Sorry, I'm going to change what I just said. So we're going to send out the intake form as part of this episode, okay? That's where you're going to have to fill out the information. Then we're going to send out the request to join the network at a specific time on September 5th. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 p.m. Pacific time. All right. That's when we're going to send out the link on the 5th. We're going to post it in the Facebook group. We're going to email it to you, and you'll be able to get this link a few different ways. So set your alarm. Doesn't matter what time zone you're in. Set your alarm to 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, okay? So it's 1400 o'clock on the 5th of September, and set an alarm. You're going to receive the link, and then it's going to be showtime. You're going to have to fill this out as quickly as you can because there will be FOMO. There will be a lot of people requesting to join, and I'm sure there's going to be thousands of people on the wait list very, very quickly from the almost 24,000 members of the Facebook group that we have. And we have I I think 25,000 plus emails on our list as well. So remember, we're going to be letting in probably 100 people the first day and then 100 people the second day. So it's going to be in groups of 100 until we know that 100 is all good and it's fine. And we might up it to 250, we might up it to 500, but that initial week is probably going to be 100 people per day. So if you want to get in and be one of the first people to get access to GPM Base and see what all the fuss is about and see all the cool stuff that we built and put together for you guys and have bragging rights to the rest of the community that you're in there and they're still waiting for access, then I highly recommend that you're quick, you're ready, you're sitting by the computer, you click that link, you fill in all your info, and then wait for us to give you access. All right. So I'm super pumped. September is going to be one of the best, most exciting months in a very, very long time for GPM. It's going down in the history books as another opportunity for us to elevate, to expand, to disrupt, to reimagine how we get to build our businesses and how we get to grow as a community. There's going to be contests coming. There's going to be all kinds of prizes we give away. We're just going to have so much more ways to serve the community, to give it recognition, and you're going to be blown away that when we all come back together and return to the origin of Enagic, but also return to the origin of my vision for global prosperity movement that started back in 2013, you will see that we are much stronger together rather than separated in our own separate Facebook groups away from each other. And that's just so the old way of doing it. And once you see this way, you're going to be blown away at what's possible. And we're all going to elevate together and rise and kick butt and break records and set ourselves free and help so many more people. So stay tuned for everything. Pay attention to the link in the show notes. That's step 1, is complete your intake form. Make sure you answer every single question. If you're lazy, if you don't answer properly, you're just basically not going to get access because we don't got time for that. So take it seriously, fill it out honestly, give it your best effort. And then at 2 p.m. on September 5th, 9.5 Kangen Water Day, on 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or Pacific Daylight Time, I believe. Yeah, because it's whatever the local time or the local time is right now, Pacific. I think it's Pacific Daylight Time, 2 p.m. That's when we're going to send out the link. So if you're in Europe, you're in Australia, make sure you set your alarm to the appropriate time. Fill that out real quick to get in the queue and be one of the first people to let inside. And I can't wait to see you in there. I'll be very active, especially with the first few hundred, first 1,000 people. I'm going to be commenting on everything. I'm going to be in there. And I can't wait for you guys to see it and check it out and get all your feedback and get all your suggestions. It's going to be amazing. All right, guys. That's it for now. I'm super pumped. GPM Base is about to launch. And after that, the whole new world of how we do business is going to begin. All right. Take care, my friends. Have a good rest of your day. And we'll see you soon.